The time has come yet again, a ring linked from back to front. All things come to an end. Then once again, they begin afresh. Old friends and new come once more into the dark and fulfill your destiny. All things return to the beginning, but you are endless, my nemesis, my foe. The plague comes yet again.
You can't keep me locked up here forever. Once I get out, and I will get out, your days are numbered. What you're doing is unethical and immoral.
Saving the human race from its inevitable extinction. You call this unethical? This is how you address your savior.
You're mad.
That's what was said about the man who said the world was round, but in due time, he was found to be right. What I do for humanity, and one day I will be praised as a visionary. How far the apple has fallen from the tree. Your father would be ashamed.
A genocidal madman and a traitor. A Nazi. That's who you relate to.
Oh, Kloss, not that father. I mean your real father. He understands that humans are a plague on this world. You do not understand the pestilence. The hybrids are our final form.
You've lost your minds, both of you.
Wait and see. I leave you now. There's much work to be done as we prepare the final steps. The formula for the ideal human hybrid is almost ready. Just one piece missing.
His father?
Yep. Cyrus seemed pretty sure that the old Nazi in cryogenics isn't Kloss's dad.
But that can't be.
I don't know. That's what he said.
Do you have anything of Kloss's with you? A personal belonging?
Oh, yeah. Here.
Give me a moment. That doesn't make sense.
What did you see?
It looked like Europe in medieval times. There was only bits and pieces of what we know as Kloss's childhood.
That is... Someone's coming.
My dear Pythia, how nice to see you again.
Cyrus?
Unfortunately, this isn't a social call. I'm rounding up traitors.
Traitors, you say? Who might that be?
Don't be coy. You know we have Kloss, and it's only a matter of time before we find all his accomplices. My eye is also on you and Lucius.
Me? I'm a mere oracle. I take no part in your politics.
Nevertheless, I expect your support. Have you seen Agent Chen?
Chen? No, not since you took Kloss into custody.
Let me know if you hear anything, and remember, we're watching you.
He's gone.
He's gonna find me, sooner or later. I'm sorry to get you and Lucius involved in this.
Don't worry about us. We've been through worse.
How do you know Lucius anyway?
Oh, that's a story for another day.
Come on. For the moment, I've got nothing else I can do.
Very well. Thousands of years ago, I was the Oracle at Delphi. We served as priestesses to the god Apollo. In the chasm beneath Delphi were fumes emitted from the core of Earth herself. These brought forth powers of soothsaying, and with it, hallucinations. Sometimes they could cause one to lose their mind. The fumes had a different effect on me, extending my life and granting me powers akin to Apollo. After the time of Great Greece was ended, I roamed the world, eventually finding my travels had led me to Romania. I met Lucius a few hundred years ago. He, too, cursed with everlasting life. A bond between us formed, and for many years we traveled together as one. Ages later, while on our travels, a man came to us speaking of a foundation. We were tired of travel, and it seemed like a place both of us could form some type of home in. They wanted Lucius to work with them, as he had some innate understanding of anomalies. In turn, they gave me my enclosure and allowed me to use it as I see fit. I created the home of my birthplace. This is why I have no SCP designation, as I am not truly a part of the Foundation.
That's a hell of a story. I had no idea.
Quiet! Someone comes!
Pythia, are you in the mood for Chinese takeaway?
Not tonight. I've had enough.
Hang on. That's your secret phrase?
It was my idea. Don't you like it?
Very funny.
He's learned something new about Kloss.
Yeah. Cyrus said that Kloss's father, the one in cryogenics, is not his real father. Interesting. Anything else? He just babbled on about his hybrids and curing the world. Humans are a plague, blah blah blah. You do not understand the pestilence. You do not understand the pestilence? Yeah, that sounds very familiar. That could be a lead. Excuse me, both of you. I need to speak with an old friend.
Ah, Monsieur Lucius. How nice of you to pay me a visit. It has been a while since we last spoke.
Yes, Doctor. I apologize for not seeing you more often as of late, but things have been chaotic.
It is a small thing. My experiments have been keeping me busy. The pestilence still spreads.
That's actually what I came to speak with you about.
If I may be of assistance, I gladly will.
You do not understand the pestilence. This is something I recall you saying many years ago.
Yes, I do recall. Very unfortunate that many of your doctors do not take the plague seriously.
I was told these words were spoken just today by Cyrus.
I do not know this Cyrus. Who is he?
He's an O5 council member.
Interesting. A coincidence.
Coincidence?
I recall many years ago, perhaps 30 or so, an O5 council member who was very interested in my work. He was the only one. I thought I might have an ally in my research. Unfortunately, he stopped visiting rather abruptly. I heard he had been dismissed for unethical experimentation, no doubt with me.
055.
Yes, 055. After treating a man with the pestilence, I administered my medicines to resurrect him. But this 055, he had an idea. He modified my serum.
Modified it how?
The serum usually results in mindless zombies upon resurrection. It is a side effect of the cure, but a worthy one. However, this new serum, the man rose, but with his mind intact.
Fascinating. And he had all his faculties. Were you able to successfully repeat the experiment?
Alas, we had tried dozens of times before and after, without success. This was the only experiment which worked, and shortly after, 055 was taken away.
Thank you, Doctor. You must excuse me. I need to check the records.
Of course, Professor. I do hope you'll come by again.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Cyrus, we found the documentation of your experiments.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. 05-1, please have these charlatans escorted from the hall.
051, do you remember the last holder of the 055 seat? A young man, almost 30 years ago, accused of unethical experiments? This is the same man, returned to fill the same role and continue his experiments.
Preposterous, that wasn't me. That was the previous 05-5. Under whose order was this traitor released?
Mine. I have found some rather damning evidence.
About what, Kloss? He's a traitor, that is all. I was protecting the Foundation in having him locked up.
Why do you keep calling him Kloss? Why don't you use his designation, 049-2?
What? What do you mean? I'm not an 0492.
30 years ago, Cyrus conducted experiments with 049, the plague doctor. He bent the doctor's experiments to his own interests. Things didn't go according to plan. In an interview, Kloss was killed by 049. Over the next 3 hours, 049 resurrected him with his formula, but Cyrus had him modify it somehow.
What is this madness you speak of?
He had tried it before, but it never worked. But with Kloss, it did. You covered up all the details. All the Foundation saw was that Kloss had been killed and resurrected intact, whereas the usual results were mindless zombies.
That's what made me important to the Foundation.
Yes, which is why they maintained your clones. Something in your DNA is different. Probably also why you're resistant to amnesticization.
And that's why you were looking through my records and had me arrested. You still haven't found out what's in my DNA that makes me unique.
Oh, don't be so proud. If you were truly that important, you would understand my goals. Yes, there is something in your genetics which allowed you to be resurrected intact, but it's merely some genetic anomaly. You are not unique besides.
Then, why all the effort?
I'm so close to human-animal hybridization. The next step of evolution is almost in my grasp, but the formula is unbalanced. You were to be the stabilizer.
Agents, please escort 055 and 052 to a cell. We'll decide what to do with them later.
Fools, all of you, you deny your future. You are nothing but a pestilence on this planet.
I was killed by 049.
Yes, a long time ago.
Then resurrected with a different version of his medicine.
Yes, Cyrus had the formula adjusted.
But that wasn't enough. The new formula, combined with my DNA, was the solution to resurrection and stabilizing Cyrus's human-animal hybrids.
Yes, I'm sorry, Kloss.
But if my father wasn't a Nazi, who was he? I don't understand. Why are we here?
Once the Foundation realized how important your blood was, they had you cloned.
I see, but if my father isn't my father, whose memories are those?
He is your father. They are your memories, but each clone is released without the memories of 049, for your safety.
But Cyrus said my real father. How?
The modification to the formula when you were resurrected, Cyrus added 049's blood. You share his DNA as well now.
Oh my God.
You face a choice now, both of you. Chen also knows everything. His childhood, his time as a D-class, he knows it all.
What? How?
They came back a long time ago, Doc. Some of those amnestics just aren't that good. You can both return to your jobs and continue on, with everything out in the open. After what has happened here, I could understand your distaste at remaining at the Foundation, though. The second choice? Chen will be properly amnesticized with Class A amnestics. And Kloss? Since amnestics don't work on you, since you were cloned, you must die again. However, a clone will be released with all your memories, except of the Foundation. It will be a new lease on life for both of you. You will then both be released. Make your choice, gentlemen. Continue at the Foundation, or be released with no memories of it.
I've decided.
So have I.
Was there really any choice?
Never a doubt in my mind, Doc. SCP-049, Object Class: Euclid. SCP-049 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While 049 appears to be wearing the thick robes and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of 049's body over time, and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, 049 does not have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer. 049 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, 049 would generally attempt to kill any such individual. 049 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of 049's victims have invariably been inconclusive. 049 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to then perform a crude surgery on the corpse, using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of 049-2. -2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by 049. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by 049. -2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, 049 often remark that the subjects have been cured. 049 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 02 at Site 19. 049 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, 049 must be secured with a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. While 049 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with 049 during these outbursts. In the event 049 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, 049 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of 049, the entity is to be provided with the corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of 049-2 are to be removed from 049's containment cell and incinerated. SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied. All good things must come to an end, and with this episode, I feel we've sufficiently wrapped up the storyline and answered the big questions. As some of you may know, the SCP niche isn't what it once was. Whether this is permanent or just a lull, it's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain the channel. You might be aware that a number of larger SCP-related channels have switched content. It came as a surprise to us, but these things often happen largely at the same time, as we are all influenced by the same factors. It's been a wild ride, and we thoroughly enjoyed every moment in the past few years of creating and guiding this storyline. This isn't the end for us, but for the moment, we cannot justify continuing this channel. Perhaps, one day, we might be able to rejoin it and continue the storyline. We'll be starting a new channel, unrelated to this, which we're looking forward to. Though if you want to find it, you'll have to listen for my voice in a new place.
I see a bright future ahead for you all. Our time together is done for now, and I, for one, enjoyed it.
And I would like to give a special thank you to Professor Lucius for having us on for so long. But I guess there should even be a bigger thank you to all of you. Thank you for your support and your love that you've given to us and our characters. All of us on the team wish nothing but the best for you.
We'll always be here if you need to stop by and visit us. Until we meet again, as always, have a care and remember to subscribe, like, and share, if you would. Until next time, farewell.